Welcome back to The Real South Africa, Travel and Tourism. We have an older clip from a couple that came here many years ago before COVID. So we wanted to bring it to you because we actually never showed it to you on our YouTube channel. So please enjoy. Of course, like and subscribe to this video.
Hello, this is Latasha Blanton with The Real South Africa, and today I have the Hollands with me, Gary and Jeanette, and they are here celebrating their 25th anniversary and Jeanette's 50th birthday. So we're just going to have a quick conversation with them about their time here in South Africa. Gary and Jeanette, say hello to everyone.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Gary Holland, Jeanette Holland, having a wonderful time and looking forward to sharing our thoughts with you during the next few minutes.
So the biggest question I have for you guys is, before coming to South Africa, did you have any idea of what you would see, and did that compare to what you actually saw when you got here?
You want to go first?
Yes.
I had no idea of what I would see. I did what most people would do, is I hit Google, and I did as much Google research as I could, and so I began to have a little bit of an idea, what I thought was an idea, but when we got here and began the trip and began to go to the different places we went to, it totally was not what I expected, not at all.
So, in a more positive, it was better. Was it better, or was it just not? What were you actually expecting?
But what I was expecting was more of a, and interrupt me if you want to, what I was expecting was more of a vacation. A hotel, dinner, a couple of excursions here or there, museum tour, back to the hotel. I was expecting a typical vacation. What I got was much more positive. It was more of a, and I was talking to Mark about it earlier tonight, it was more of an immersive experience in the country. So in addition to having a great vacation, great hotel, great 5-star dining every night, which I didn't expect, we were immersed in the culture. And we had an opportunity to go to Soweto, to go to Kliptown, to go to a couple of different safaris, to catch a cable car to the top of a mountain, to have a wonderful time there. Went to a couple of really nice cigar bars. I had a really good time. And more importantly, and we'll flip over to her, just the attention you guys gave us when we got here was not expected either. I thought we'd get here, you'd greet us, and then we'd be off on our own. But your attention really helped the trip to be tremendous. And there's another great aspect of the trip. Our tour guide, while we were here, was awesome. And we spent a lot of time with them. He drove us, he was our driver. His name's Herbie. He's a great guy, and just he made it so much more, just wonderful as well. All of his insights, his knowledge, the care he gave toward us, his service. It was just, everything was top notch, top of the line, much more than I expected.
Excellent. Do you want to add anything?
Well, since it was really a surprise and I didn't really find out, he went through the planning process, and I really didn't find out until a little bit later. I didn't get a chance to absorb it all, so I didn't Google, I didn't do anything. I was trying to prepare for the trip itself. But all the other trips that we've all been on, I tell you, this was a really wonderful experience. The personal touch really made it special for me. You go into a whole different country, you don't know. And I think meeting you guys and that personal touch let us know it's okay, and we got you. We know the area, and having confidence in you and you having confidence in yourself made me feel so secure. And I just love that. I'm like, okay, we could do this. We're totally in a different area, different place, different culture, really. And to embrace us and to make us feel comfortable was just wonderful.
I know you guys had mentioned the 5-star dining, probably more times than you were expecting.
Yeah.
But that's a level of food that I think you guys are probably accustomed to back in the States. But compare it to, did you have any issues with the food? Were you happy with the food presentation-wise? Your thoughts on the food here?
My thoughts about the places where we ate, and I can't name them all, but I'll 54. Signature, my favorite place. Just so many places we went to would set things apart. We've had good food before. We've traveled internationally, etc. But the sense of excellence from the service, from the waiters, the greeters, the people that worked in the restaurants, the sense of excellence that they all displayed was consistent, and it made me feel like they really wanted to make sure we enjoyed our dining experience, or whether we're in the cigar bar or the restaurant, everyone has this sense of excellence, and it was awesome, and I appreciate it, and it was even down to our Herbie. I mean, everybody we encountered, Dusty, our Lion Safari driver today, a sense of excellence is really what stood out to me, because we all have had experiences where, you know, the service personnel may have been a little bit of a pain in different places. I didn't see that or sense that or experience that, not at one time this entire week. Food was great, all of that, but the overall experience, I would say, is pretty much unmatched for a week vacation anywhere I've been. Yeah.
All the meals we had.
All the meals we had.
Yeah, we had a few.
Were, and this is for coming from me, because I'm a very
picky.
I'm extremely picky, and it's very, very hard to please me, and I like to cook, so I have an expectation. If I'm going to go out and buy a meal, I want it to be better than what I would cook at home. So that's just my expectation. And I tell you, I have never had an experience where back to back for 7 days in a row, all the meals we had has been excellent and has exceeded my expectation. And I really didn't complain. It is amazing. You should be really happy.
I said it earlier today. I said, thank you, Lord.
You know,
prayers
I didn't have
answered.
didn't have to send anything back. I didn't have to. It was just great, you know. And the portion sizes were great, and the presentation. So a lot of times it's all about presentation as well. Presentation, just 5 stars, you know, and it made the experience, again, you've been in a totally different area, you don't know what to expect. I'm a Southern girl, so I like the spices, I like to taste my food, I don't like bland food. Excellent. All the places were just great.
Good.
And we had a variety. We had seafood, we had
Asian, African,
Indian, we had Indian.
Yeah.
So we had a great variety.
You tried ostrich, I heard.
I tried ostrich. Yes, I did. It was good. It was good.
Just a different thing.
It was different, and it again. I tried it.
You did. Next time we'll try the zebra.
I wanted to try the zebra.
Next time.
I was going for it. Yeah.
You can always get some zebra built on. Now I know you mentioned the excellence of like the people. What did you think when you looked around and saw mostly brown and black bodies walking? Like, what was your thought process for that?
Well, and I put it on Facebook, and it was sort of kind of like a poem, and it was this was, I said, breathe. Mm-hmm. I look to my left, and I see me. Breathe. I look to my right, I see me. Breathe. I look up, and I see me. Breathe. I look down and I see me. And then I said, the reality is I'm at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So to see us,
is us.
It's a beautiful thing. And to see us serving and with a spirit of what we call excellence, the spirit of excellence, you can't beat that, you know. And everybody, we kept hearing, we want you to come back. You know, we want you to come back. And it was sincere. You know, where a country of people that embrace you and say, "You're at home. Welcome home." And I heard that quite a few times. Welcome home. And I'm like, yeah.
At home, you know, we know we're the minority, you know, in numbers in the States, and here to be in a place where the police officers, the restaurant owners, the business people, it's us. So it's clear that we're in a nation of our people, and it really does make a difference. And it is something that, you know, I felt and I saw and I was aware of, and it was just a blessing to see that and to feel accepted by all the different types of people we met, whether they were some of the folks I mentioned or people that weren't doing so well. The sense that they appreciated, you know, us being here and welcomed us was pretty consistent.
From the moment we stepped out the plane, literally, we were greeted. And I was like, wow.
It happens that fast.
Mm-hmm.
It happens that fast. I know, Gary, you have mentioned that I know she said welcome home, but there was a time when you said that no matter where, because you're an international traveler, so you've been like across the world. So this is your first time on the continent, correct?
That's correct.
So this is your first time on the continent, so I have to ask you, you always look forward to going back to North America or going home. Like, how does that compare to being here? Like, I know you want to go back home, but do you feel that same sense of home that, you know, Jeanette described just now?
When I landed, when I go home, whenever I travel abroad and I'll fly into Jersey, or if I'm coming in from, you know, Asia Pac and I'm coming to the West Coast, when I land on North American soil, I always feel good. I feel like, okay, I'm home, and I just feel I can exhale, and I feel that I'm home. When we landed at the airport here, I felt that same feeling of, you know, I just felt the same. Now, I won't say I felt like I'm home, but I felt that feeling of just relief, and I felt like, wow, you know, this is awesome. I felt comfortable, and I felt home, because I mean, I know that this is where our people are from, and just landing here and not even knowing what to expect, and having my own, you know, expectations that ended up being surpassed, you know, in a wild way. But I did feel that as soon as I landed. Before we got off the plane, when we landed, I felt a sense of relief, and I felt like an exhale. And I guess I could say I felt a sense that, wow, you know, I'm home. This is going to be cool no matter what happens. This is going to be a good week. You know, I just felt that.
That's awesome. And the last question, actually almost the last question I have, is when it comes to number one, recommending travel to South Africa, because you got questions before you left about coming here. I get questions all the time about what it's like here, and a lot of people have a very negative view of the continent and of South Africa. Comparing it to what we experience in the United States, would you say they should be comfortable coming to South Africa based on your experience, or should they let their fear, you know, put them in a position to where they wouldn't even want to experience the things that you've been able to in the last week?
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. I mean, number one, you definitely experience it. Come experience it. If you did like I did and you Google a bunch of stuff, you know, you can come away from your research with the wrong impression of the country. It's like many other countries. You know, there's good things, there's bad things. This trip with the real South Africa, the one thing that I really truly enjoyed about this is we were able to experience in a short period of time, you know, a lot of South Africa. We saw a lot of great dining, great entertainment, great facilities, etc. But we also went to Kliptown. We went to Soweto. We went to the Apartheid Museum. We went to Nelson Mandela's house and the street where Nelson Mandela and Bishop Desmond Tutu grew up on. We met people that were performing on the street. We had food from those areas. You know, we did things that helped us to really see, you know, both sides of South Africa. We drove past, you know, townships where there were shacks, you know, just, you know, corrugated tin, steel shacks. So we saw that part of the country as well. So it really helped me to see, you know, a broad brush of the country. And just like in America, they're tough places, they're nice places. So definitely don't be afraid. The Real South Africa does a great job at helping with the itinerary, with the tour guides they select. You're always safe, you're always looked out for. There are plenty of tourists here from all over the world, not as many from America, African Americans, as we're going to see, you know, but definitely come on out. Don't be afraid. Don't be concerned. Like any major city, you know, be careful, be cautious, be mindful of where you are, right? Like you do in Chicago or DC or New York or what have you. But I wouldn't tell anyone to be concerned.
Anywhere, you could go anywhere. There's, like you said, you have to, there's touristy areas, and then there's, you know, local areas where you just kind of want to stay away from. But there's always some, you know, anywhere you go.
Yeah, don't be concerned with that. Yeah.
And we had the opportunity to shop. You didn't say
I had an opportunity to shop.
Yeah, so, and that was a wonderful thing. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Look at his face. He's like, whatever. So if there's anything you could tell anyone who is hesitant about not just coming on an experience with us, but just hesitant about traveling to South Africa, and, you know, what is it that you would want them to know that you didn't know before you got here?
You want to do that? Good. Well, I mean, what I would want people to know is that, I mean, if you haven't been to Africa, if you haven't been to South Africa in particular, it's full of people. It's full of people, regular people like you, people like me, different cultures, different backgrounds, but full of people. And also just be mindful that apartheid ended 25 years ago. We have a daughter 25 years old. That means that we would have grown up under apartheid, right? So we have to be mindful that this country in just 25 years has grown tremendously. When you come to visit, you'll be amazed at the business down here, at the companies down here, at the progress down here. You know, you'll be amazed, and amazed at how many Africans or Black people are leading these efforts. So I would say, you know, just realize that there are people, and this nation, I believe, is a new nation because apartheid just ended 25 years ago, and the sky's the limit here in South Africa. So just be mindful of that, and be mindful of it's a new, young democracy and a new, young, growing country, and just be mindful of that, and don't expect to come somewhere that's been, you know, established in a democracy for the last, 100 years. Well, actually in America, you don't forget the Civil Rights Act was passed 55 years ago. So we're still growing and progressing in America too in terms of race relations and our people. But I would definitely suggest that you keep that in mind as you make your plans and as you come. And when you do, you'll be thoroughly impressed and surprised when you get here.
Awesome. I know that you guys had an opportunity to get some clothes made, yes?
Yeah.
So hopefully that was an experience that probably was not expected, but we kind of threw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely not expected. And I'll say my part, because she picked up some extra pieces. We went back today to just get some final sizing done. She picked up some new stuff. But me working with Nee was awesome. Just to kind of spend some time with him. He measured us. I'm getting a dashiki sent to me that he's going to go ahead and put together and then customize for me. Things like that mean so much. You know, it's not just a shirt I bought from, the store, at home, just to wear something that I met the person, this beautiful African guy from Ghana, right? And the fact that he built it, he created it, is going to mean so much to me. And it's just that was a great experience that I certainly didn't expect,
Right.
And I was
but
glad.
It was a request, and thank you guys for
making
honoring
it happen.
Yeah, honoring that request. I said, okay, I wanted to get something made, and he was like, okay. I know a guy.
I got a guy.
Yeah, okay. And to go out there and into his shop, which was absolutely beautiful, in a beautiful mall area, and to pick my fabric, to select a design, and for him to go through all the measurements, and I tell you, that dress is gorgeous.
I've seen it.
And not only the dress itself, I felt like a queen in it. So I can't wait to go to the ball and wear it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And very reasonably priced as well.
For sure.
And the turnaround was like, what, 2 days?
No.
1 day?
No, he had it done the next day.
The
You
next
guys
day.
just didn't
Oh,
get it
my goodness.
and done the next day.
Yeah.
Done the next day. So.
Well, one thing I'll share for whoever's watching, if you're still watching, this is kind of a long interview. Don't let what you think it'll cost you to come to South Africa for a week, 2 weeks. Don't let that be a deterrent. Just talk with the folks here at the Real South Africa, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that you can plan and afford a trip to South Africa to experience what we've experienced the short time we've been here. Don't let what you think the cost is deter you from really looking into coming out here.
And also the accommodations.
Yeah.
Where we're staying.
Yeah.
It's a Marriott. Right?
Marriott property, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
African pride,
absolutely beautiful
Yep.
facility. And the area is a growing, new area.
Melrose Arts,
It's like a town center type environment with companies and restaurants, and I mean it's just a great place. So you're not, don't worry about it, because we have all the you have the facilities here to accommodate whatever the person's needs
For sure.
and desires.
All right. So I'm going to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for your trust in the Real South Africa, for planning your anniversary and your birthday.
Absolutely.
And kind of altering the
That's
itinerary to meet your needs, because we did have an itinerary, but the second you said you wanted one thing, I'm like, let's move this, let's do this, because it is your anniversary, it is your birthday month, and you come all this way, and I think that you should have what you want. With
Awesome.
if I can provide that, I'm gonna definitely try. So I thank you for your trust in us, and I know for sure that you will be back because there's so much more of this country left to see.
Yeah, no doubt
And
about it.
7 days is never enough time.
No doubt about it. We will be back.
And one thing I want to say, you guys created a journey for us that it's a lifetime of memories, and it's a trip of, I call it a trip of a lifetime.
Oh,
thank you.
It was my pleasure. All my pleasure. I'm glad that you got to see the people that we fell in love with. You got to see all different socioeconomic status, and you got to literally connect with people that across the pond have the same. You're the same, and everyone cares about the same thing. And you're right, the service of excellence is what they do, and they make you want to just be and do better. And that's what we love about being here. We want to share that with you guys. So thank you again for letting us do that with you.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.